The music news for the streets, the music news for your beats, the news for the music stuff that you gonna need. We gon' talk about plugins, we gon' talk about gear. If it's news on this music, we gon' talk about it here. Let's go. Welcome to the music news for the streets. I'm your anchor man, hit the keys. And today's newscast is all about the freebies and a surprise move by Moog. Our top story today is gonna be one of these freebies. So as many of you guys know, Air Music just dropped Jura, which everybody's been talking about. And it is a replication of the Juno 60. Well, guess what? Currently right now at audio plugin deals, Centronic J60 by IK Multimedia is free. And this is IK Multimedia's version of the Juno 60. So as you look here, Centronic J60 brings you the authentic sound of the Roland Juno 60, manufactured from 1982 to 1984. The Juno 60 was the lower priced alternative to the very expensive Jupiter 8, but it found its place in music production. So what I'm gonna do for you guys here real quick is I'm just gonna give you guys a little sample so you can hear what it sounds like. So I've got it pulled up here in FL Studio right now. As you take a look at the plugin, it is going to look like this. So it looks very similar to the Juno 60, and it's going to sound like this. All right, so what makes this version of the Juno 60 so nice is that here you get all these different effects too. So you're gonna get a ton of different effects. You're gonna get all the effects that you would basically get in Sample Tank or Centronic when you do download this. So it's nice. And as you see, you got different amps, different distortion types, different EQ types, different modulation types, different reverb types, and different filters. I'll go through just a couple more presets. I'm not gonna go through this in deep detail because there's a lot to cover today in the news, but you guys can get this for free over at Audio Plugin Deals, and I'll definitely leave the link for that below in the description. But let me just go ahead and go through a couple more presets at random. So as you guys can see there, you get that classic Juno sound and all these sounds. They sound very good. They sound very nice. I would recommend it if you like that synthwave type music or you want this retro sound. I would definitely recommend grabbing this thing because again, it's free. It's normally $50, but it's only gonna be free for 2 weeks. The second story that I have for you guys today is another freebie, and it is an absolute banger as well. It's called High Slicer 2 Free Edition. So when you check out High Slicer 2, it is basically a sampler. And so you can chop samples and do a bunch of cool stuff with this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here. We're gonna get our sounds from over here instead of over here. We're gonna go ahead and come over here in the drum kits. And then we're just gonna grab a quick little sample. So I'm gonna come over here to my little sample pack. Let's grab a drum loop. And I'm just gonna drag this over. So all you're gonna do is grab this. And then it'll also give you a sound preview as well. So every time you click on this, it's gonna give you a sound preview to what it is that you're doing. So it'll just be for that chop. So as you look down here, this is actually where we're gonna drop these samples at. So we got 16 different steps that we can use. So let's go ahead and drop a drum here. Let's drop another drum here. And let's grab a snare. So we'll grab that snare and put it right here. Let's grab this snare and put it right here. And then if we push play, this is what it's gonna sound like. And so as you see there, we get to change up whatever loop it is, however we want. We could do this with samples, like melodic samples, whatever it is that we wanted to. And then down here, you have some effects that you can mess with as well. So you have a lo-fi effect that you can turn on. And so you got controls over that. You can dial it back. You can make it whatever you want. You got drive over here as well, so you can drive the sound too.
You got compression right here, so you can turn compression on and get your drums right as well. So I'll turn it off and then I'll turn the compression on. You got a tilt EQ right here. You got a filter, you got your amplitude, and then you got a little pitch right here that you can change your pitch with as well. Very fire-free plugin. I would definitely recommend checking this out if you're into sampling and chopping samples up. This thing is really easy to use. In breaking news, it looks like Moog has sold to N Music. Let's look at the story. So Moog Music announced today that they are now part of N Music, the conglomerate known for its ownership of brands like Alesis, Akai, and Numark. If you know anything about N Music, you know that they're pretty trash. N Music is the company that kicked out the creator of the MPC from Akai and refuses to pay this man his royalties. And he created the MPC. I don't know about this one, Moog. Moog president Joe Richardson made the only statement released today on behalf of both companies and talks about discussions with N Music CEO Jack O'Donnell. The main takeaways: engineer Steve Dunnington will remain as lead product development, and Moog promises to continue its operations in Asheville. Yeah, well, you know, Akai thought it was gonna go the same too until N Music took over, and we see how they be screwing people. Moog Music will remain in Asheville, North Carolina, and our team will continue to design and build our instruments here inside the Moog factory. As part of the transition, Moog Music is no longer employee-owned. All past and present employees who have participated in the Moog Music employee stock ownership program since it was implemented in 2015 will receive a payout. I feel like Moog could have did better by their employees, but who am I to judge? So our next story today is another freebie for you guys today. It's an update of a classic piano. Many of you guys may know it. It's called Piano One. So when you take a look here at Piano One, basically they've just added some new tools in order to make it sound more realistic when you're playing and so on and so forth. If you've never heard the piano, I'm gonna go ahead and push play, and I'm just gonna let it run with those drums there from the high slicer. So that's basically what the piano sounds like. The cool thing about this piano, though, that makes it a little bit different than your other pianos that are free, is you have all this control over your harmonics, your tone, perspective. So whether it's the player's perspective or the audience perspective, you're obviously going to have reverb and stuff over here, but you got dampening times and stuff like this. You got noises that you can add to the piano. And then you got key dynamic ranges. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do in this plugin to make your piano sound nice. And there's a few different pianos. So boom, you got all these pianos over here. And then you can obviously save your presets as well. So let's go ahead and hit a different piano. Now, my only fault with this piano is the volume always starts over here, and the volume should always be halfway when you start. So you see every time you go over there that the volume changes, and sometimes that distorts the piano. But what I'm gonna go ahead and do real quick is I'm gonna go ahead and turn off those drums for just 1 second. All right, and then I'll mess with a little bit of these controls really quick. And then with tone, you get a little bit EQ here. And then you get some noises, so you can get the noise from like the hammer and all this other stuff. So as you guys can see, you get a lot there with that free piano. I definitely recommend checking that out. Of course, I will leave the link below in the description. Stick with me for another freebie here later on in the video. But next up, we got some sales over at Zounds. So in case you guys don't know, I always talk about it, but I love me some Zounds. Zounds is a company where you can probably get no credit check on most of the stuff that you want. So if you don't have the money today, you don't have the best credit, you can get things without a credit check. And so currently over at Zounds this week, you know what they got on sale this week? The SP404. Let's go take a look at it. So as we look over here at Zounds right now, you can get a blemished SP404 for $475. Okay, I understand you may not want that one. That's cool. They got a warehouse resale That's $489. Okay, I understand you may not want that one too because it's blemished or it's resealed, but you can get a brand new SP404 right now for $499.99. That is $60 off. So if you think about it, this one's almost $100 off of the SP404 for this blemish version. It's gonna work the same, you know what I'm saying? So I would definitely recommend checking that out. And as you see here, it's on sale right now for $60 off. So that's a great deal. They also have a deal over here on this Electron Digitac. So I know a lot of people have been loving this a lot lately. As you can see, regularly the Digitac costs $899, but they have warehouse resealed ones right now for $699. So that's a clean $200 off that Digitac. If you're looking to get one, I mean, this might be the time to take advantage of it because it's $200 off. As we keep scrolling through and as we keep looking through, we got a used warehouse resealed AKG C214, typically brand new. This is $399. But $359 for a resealed isn't bad at all. I would definitely recommend checking out because typically they're $465. So right now this is $65 off. And if you're looking at this one's $110 off for the used one. You know it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have the funds together, grab it. No credit check on anything I've showed you guys so far. And then there's also this bundle I wanted to show you guys as well, because if you're just getting started and you're just getting going and you need a microphone, you need a mic stand, and you need some headphones, right here you can get the ATH M20s headphones, you can get the AT2020 microphone, and you can get a boom arm for your desk, and boom, bam, now you have everything that you need other than an interface to get recording. So you can start making content, you can start recording music, you can start doing all that for this $149 bundle. And you know what I'm saying? You can go get a PreSonus preamp for $89. You're ready to go. And the fourth free plugin that I have for you guys today comes from Sample Science, and it's called Toy Keyboard. So when you take a look at Toy Keyboard, it looks just like this. As the name would imply, this is definitely a toy keyboard. This ain't what you're gonna use for like natural sounding stuff. It really sounds like it was recorded off of a toy keyboard. It's got about 80 presets in this bad boy. So it's free, it's got 80 presets. As you can see, it's got a drum kit as well. I guess 73 presets in a drum kit. But it's gonna sound like this. So as you can tell, it's just gonna sound like a toy piano, but you got reverb, delay, you got other things you can do to mess with this. So I'll just go through a few of the sounds. Again, this is gonna be like a toy sounding instrument. So it's gonna sound like a kid's toy, but they do have some dope presets in here, like this flute is pretty nice. So I do like that flute. I'm not even gonna hold y'all, throw a little bit of reverb on there, get that thing going. Let's see what else we got in here. I'm just gonna pick some more sounds at random. So let's see what some strings sound like. So again, this plugin right here is gonna be more so for like toy sounding stuff, or if you're looking to make kind of video game making music, even some lo-fi stuff, but you guys know what it is that you're going to use this for. So if you want it, I'll leave the link below in the description. You can go grab it. All right, guys, and over at Plugin Boutique right now, UA is actually running a monster sale, which surprises me because they got plugins up to 71% off. Normally UA is only going to give you 50% off, and it's going to be like once every 3 months. So it's pretty nice that now that they're running this cloud service, they're running some better deals. So let's go ahead and check some of these out. So as you're looking here, the API Vision channel strip is 75% off. The Hitsville reverb chambers, 71% off. The Lexicon reverb, 71% off. So normally, I don't know about 71% off, but normally these things run about $300 each. So their plugins are always like $300. So as you look here, Studer A800, 71% off. Just a whole bunch of stuff over here. The Mini Moog is $64 and 70% off. Polymax Synth is $59. Typically, I think that's $300 as well. So a lot of these plugins right now, if you were ever thinking about taking advantage of getting the UA ecosphere, now would be the time, because they even have down here where they have buy 10 get 10 free. Normally it's like 5 and 5 for the 1,000. So I'm not telling you to get that, but you can get 20 UA plugins, and typically UA plugins again are $300 each. They got the 3 for $3 for $3.99, and normally what they run on these, because I use UA plugins, like I'm a UA head kind of, and so normally it's like 3 plugins for $3.99. So they're basically giving you double of what they would normally give you for these deals. So again, if you rock with UA and you like their plugins and you want to start getting into what they got going on, I would definitely recommend getting over there now, because like I said before, typically they only give you half off. So typically if you're going to get a plugin, it's going to be $150. That's their sale, that's their deal, that's what they give you. Also over at Plugin Boutique right now, I mentioned this a few weeks ago, but I have to mention it again because you got to grab this. If you're really interested in grabbing some isotope, or if you're interested in getting into like any of the isotope stuff like ozone, neutron, nectar, any of that stuff that like AI generates and helps you mix and stuff like that, now's the time. If you have bought anything, I've been telling y'all forever. So if you ever bought Stutter Edit 2 for $10, you can cross grade and get all this stuff right now from iZotope. I'm gonna go through the list and let y'all know what y'all can get, because this ain't no joke. I mean, I'm serious as a heart attack. Like, I would recommend this bundle over everything. I use ozone, I use nectar. That alone would be worth the $249 for me, but this is what comes in this bundle. So it's got ozone 10 advanced, that's worth more than $240. It's got RX 10 standard, it's got Neutron 4, Symphony 3D, Stratus 3D, it's got some Brainworks plugins, so it's got a bunch of different Brainworks plugins. You're gonna get Nectar 3 Plus, you're gonna get Neoverb, you're gonna get Vocal Synth, you're gonna get Insight 2, which is fire, and it's gonna help you put your mixes together a little better. You'll get Tonal Balance, which is fire, it's gonna help you get your mixes together a little bit better. Visual Mixer, the Relay, Melodyne Essentials, and then it says it has M1 Apple support. This is another one of those that I would just recommend with everything. Like, I would recommend this every other time. The last deal that I have for you guys today over at Plugin Boutique is basically this $49 bundle. This is going to be good for some people, maybe not for others, but what they're offering in this bundle is going to be Native Instruments FM8. They're going to also offer Cable Guy's Time Shaper, which is the full out halftime plugin. They're going to offer you Clevgland Slammer, which is basically a bunch of different drum sounds, so it allows you to get a bunch of drums together. And then they're going to offer you some sample packs. Whether it's this Loopmaster sound effects or this Loopmaster chill wave vocals. The chill wave vocal is a pretty solid little sample pack, but this is what FM8 looks like. It's an FM synthesis. This is what the Time Shaper looks like. It's basically halftime on steroids. I use it all the time. This is what the Clevgland Slammer is going to look like. So you got different drum instruments that you can put in there, and you can like basically get all kinds of different drumming that you didn't know that you could do before. And then you got the 2 different sound banks. So you got the sound effects bank, which is going to have over 122 miscellaneous effects, just all kinds of different sounds. And then the chill wave vocals, which is going to have 4 vocal tracks, 62 backing vocal loops, 57 lead vocal chops, 56 chorus vocal chops. So that's a ton of different vocals. That's like 170 different vocals or something like that. So that's what I got for you guys today. Hope I could help you guys out. Make sure if you guys like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell, so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Signing off as your anchorman, something, something, something. Hit the keys. Until next time.